Hello my friends and welcome to Cruise 118. I'm John Cooper and with us today we've got our destination expert Karen Worrall with us, and it's lovely to have you back.
Thanks John, lovely to be here.
Well, today we're going to be talking to you about a cruise destination that I'm sure many of you have been to and love. We're talking about the Southern Caribbean. Now Karen, I know you've spent a lot of time over in the Caribbean, haven't you? And you love it.
I do. It's a wonderful place to visit, and I was lucky enough to spend 5 seasons working there when I worked on cruise ships pre-COVID. So let's take a look at the Southern Caribbean. So cruising the Southern Caribbean takes you to some wonderful ports with idyllic beaches, rich colonial and pirate history, and lush verdant landscapes. Now, Southern Caribbean cruises last between 7 and 14 nights, and most depart from Fort Lauderdale in Florida, San Juan in Puerto Rico, or Bridgetown in Barbados.
Well, if you prefer to start your cruise in Fort Lauderdale, it's known as the Venice of Florida, as it has so many canals and waterways. You can even take a water bus there as well. Let's explore some of the destinations of the Southern Caribbean.
Absolutely, and let's start off in Bridgetown in Barbados. So Bridgetown, Barbados is a popular Caribbean port used as an embarkation port when you begin your cruise and as a port to visit during many cruises. It is a beautiful, friendly island, proud home of pop and R&B star Rihanna, with some of the best beaches in the Caribbean where you can swim, sunbathe and relax or go into the water for some adventure. Turtle Bay is a wonderful beach for snorkeling with lots of reef fish and groupers and yellowtail snappers, plus green hawksbill and green turtles. Bathsheba Beach is perfect for surfing, Pebbles Beach is great for paddleboarding, and Mullins Beach is great for kayaking. Or visit Harrison's Cave, a limestone rock cave formed thousands of years ago that you can swim in. The Orchid World and Tropical Flower Garden has got 6 acres of botanic beauty with a waterfall, coral grotto and more than 1,000 orchids and tropical plants that look and smell amazing. Now the island's historic capital Bridgetown has interesting places to visit too, including Parliament House and the South Coast Boardwalk.
Well, any tips that we should know about?
Yes, I've got one for you. In Barbados, there are no private beaches on the island at all. So wherever you are, when you're down by the water, if it's a little bit busy and you like a little bit more peace and quiet by yourself, all you do, walk a little bit further along and you can usually find a quieter spot. All beaches are accessible by everyone.
Now, Bridgetown has some fabulous beaches, but don't just sunbathe, as there's so much to see and do, and you must obviously take a tour of the rum factory. Now that seems to be a good time to take a look at our first deal. We're going with Royal Caribbean International on the Rhapsody of the Seas out of Bridgetown, so let's take a little look at what you can expect on board. Now the great thing about this ship is we know someone who's worked on it. Karen, you've actually worked on this ship, haven't you?
I have, yes, and we had the atrium there. There's lots of entertainment there. It's a beautiful ship, the Rhapsody of the Seas. It was refurbished just a few years ago in 2016. I worked on it quite a while back in 2006. It was my second ship, and I used to sing in the atrium right here. The atrium is a great place to see entertainment. There is live jazz early evening, and it gets a little bit more party later on. You've got coffee shops and bars right next to it. Up on the top deck, it's also fantastic. There's several pools you can go to. There are hot tubs, and also you can watch movies up there on the deck as well if you want to sit and see that.
There's nothing like watching the movies on top deck of a ship, is there? It really is. Now, this is a holiday going on the 15th of January next year, which is like the perfect time of year to go, isn't it? It really is. So let's see where we're going to go. So we fly you from the UK to Bridgetown, Barbados. Well, life doesn't get better than this, does it? We're going to Barbados. Absolutely wonderful. And then from there, we're into St. George's, which is in Grenada. And once again, a lovely Caribbean island, which you're just going to fall in love with. And, just wander around and take it all in. Then we're off to Williamstown in Curacao. Now, you can tell the Dutch influence there. You walk onto the shore, and it feels like you're in, Amsterdam in the sunshine. Then we're off to Puerto Limón, which is, do you know what? It's typically Caribbean. You can pick up all little artifacts and stuff like that as well. And then we're into Colón, which you're going to love. You will. And the people of the Caribbean, they're so friendly. It's untrue. Then we're into Cartagena. And once again, it's the history here. It's the Spanish influences that you're going to get here as well, which are all very different. That's what's so great about the Caribbean. It's so very, very different. Then we're off to Bonaire. And, you know, Bonaire, once again, the beaches here are incredible. Absolutely incredible. Then into Aruba. Now we're going to overnight in Aruba, so you know you're going to be able to see it by night as well, which is great. Then we're into Port of Spain in Trinidad, and once again, I mean Trinidad, you know, just one of those places you dream of, isn't it? And then we're back into Bridgetown, Barbados. That's where we're going to meet you and fly you back to the UK. Now this holiday, as I say, goes on the 15th of January next year, and you're just going to have a wonderful time. It's a 40-night cruise, and you fly back to the UK, so it's a 15-night holiday. We've included, you know, we don't mess about. We've included your luggage, and you know, you get fed on the plane and all that sort of thing. You're going to have a wonderful time. Let's have a look at the details on the full screen, shall we? So we can get you involved in this one. You're going to love it. Royal Caribbean, they, you know, the word Caribbean's in there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
For good reason, yeah.
You know, they obviously know what they're doing. So much is included in the price. And, you know, you're going to love... I'll tell you what I love about Royal Caribbean. The Windjammer.
Yeah, you've got all kinds of food, whatever you're in the mood for.
It's a real... That's like their buffet. And their fruit juices in there as well. They're gorgeous. If you want to know more details or you want to get yourself involved, give us a call. There's the number on the bottom of the screen, 0808 2585 118. Or if you want to just click on the deal and have a look and read more on it, go to cruise118.com/TV, where you can also see this programme again. It couldn't get simpler, really, could it? It couldn't get simpler. So get yourself involved and we'll get you off to the Caribbean straight away. Right then, let's move on, shall we? And Karen, while we've been talking about Bridgetown, should we tell some more? So let's continue, shall we, on our tour of the Caribbean. And where are we off to next?
Next up, John, we're going to go to St. Lucia.
Wow.
So our next port is Castries in St. Lucia, a lush tropical island loomed over by its two large Piton peaks. Soufriere is the place to go for walking through nature trails in the rainforest, or you can even glide through the air above everything on a zip line.
Wow.
I've done it, it's very good and scary. The waters of St. Lucia, like most of the Caribbean, are teeming with rich marine ecosystems. You can snorkel in the marine reserve here, enjoying seeing coral reefs and coral reef fish as well. Sugar Beach is the spot to go to relax and unwind, and Marigot Bay is perfect for families for relaxing on the sand and swimming in the safe, shallow waters there. Now, I have a little tip for you in St. Lucia, and that is to get out in the rainforest on any tour that takes you up into the greenery. It's a wonderful way to see the island, and especially going up into Mount Gimmi or Petit Piton. So, let's take... Sounds pretty good.
It does sound good.
All right, let's look at our next port, and now we're going to go to Martinique. The French island of Martinique offers laid-back beaches and lush tropical rainforests. The botanical garden has more than 3,000 types of plants and flowers to admire. Now, thrill seekers can walk across the suspension bridge perched high in the rainforest canopy above. Do you fancy that one, John?
No.
Now, if you're a history fan, you'll enjoy visiting the ruins of Saint Pierre, the once bustling capital of the island that was destroyed by the eruption of Mont Pelée volcano in 1902. Now, Fort-de-France is the largest city in the French West Indies and one of the best places to try French and Creole cuisine in the Caribbean, with dishes such as shrimp étouffée and locally caught lobster. Now, rum buffs will enjoy visiting the local rum distilleries to see how rum is made and its importance in the Caribbean in the trading there over the years. And best of all, you get to taste it.
Now, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yes.
You see, sometimes I will push myself.
It's a really good thing to do. And my top tip there is, if you can, go and visit a rum distillery. Rum is my favourite drink, and I love to sample it all over the Caribbean, and Martinique is one of the best places to try it. And if you get a chance to try a local mango rum, that's amazing. It's my favourite. And make sure you wrap it up very well in your check-in luggage to get it home nice and safe.
Most important. You want to get it home, don't you? You want to get it home.
Yeah.
So we've got our rum tip. So where are we off to next?
Okay, next up, let's take a look at St. Vincent.
Whoa.
Now, St. Vincent is a tiny island which is part of the chain of the Grenadines. St. Vincent is known for its untouched nature and bright blue waters, and is the perfect place to relax and sunbathe, and is quieter and less crowded than some of the other islands. Now, you can feel like you're reliving some of the golden days of piracy by sailing along the coast on a traditional schooner. Or if you go to St. Vincent's Botanical Gardens, this is one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere and has beautiful plants, flowers, and the lingering scent of breadfruit, cinnamon, and other spices in the air. A catamaran trip is a fantastic way to see more of the island's stunning coastline, and you can cool off with a swim in the cool blue sea.
That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Any tips?
Yep, my tip for there is if you like hiking in volcanoes, take a tour of La Soufriere volcano. It is St. Vincent's highest peak at 1,234 meters above sea level, and it gives you magnificent views of the entire island while learning about the still active but safe volcano, its flora, fauna, and the island. And you go up on the Windward Trail, which is about a 3 to 4 hour round trip, so easily done in a day.
Sounds wonderful. Now we're off to one of my favourite Caribbean islands, Dominica. It really is gorgeous, isn't it?
Absolutely, let's take a look at that. Now, Dominica's nickname is the Nature Island because of its impressive waterfalls, verdant tropical forests, mountains, and hot springs. Now, the village of Scott's Head is a little fishing village where you can see the Scott's Head's Isthmus, which is a narrow stretch of land that separates the Atlantic Ocean from the Caribbean Sea, which is really cool to see it. Now, venture into the gorgeous rainforest and even take a dip in the crystal clear oasis of hidden waterfalls, or float downstream in a river tube, like you saw people doing there. Now, Trafalgar's Falls are two gorgeous side-by-side waterfalls, and one of them is more than 100 feet tall. Now, Merrow Beach is the perfect place to stop for lunch of freshly caught seafood and enjoy the blue water and the lovely black volcanic sand there.
Wow, sounds wonderful. I mean to say, what's your top tip for here?
Well, there actually, my favourite thing to do is to go on the river tubing tour. I did that. It's so much fun. It's safe and relaxing, but it also is a little bit adventurous because when you go down, at some points you go faster at the light rapids. And the atmosphere of floating through a river winding through the beautiful rainforest is wonderful. It's about 3 or 4 miles long, and you can see, smell, and hear the forest and the wildlife all around you. So it's a great way to get a real feel of the island.
It sounds great. I mean, I remember going to the little town just by the port, and they had like an open air market selling all little knickknacks and things. It was really lovely to have a look around. So where are we off to next?
Okay, next up we are going to go to Grenada. Now, we stop at St. George in Grenada. Grenada is known as the Spice Island as its variety of trees produce fragrant spices like cocoa, ginger, and cloves. Grenada's capital, St. George, has lots to do and discover. You can learn about the herbs and spices grown on the island, including vanilla, nutmeg, peppercorn, and turmeric at a local herb and spice garden or market. And a terrific way to experience the water here is to head out paddling on a clear bottom kayak along St. George's coast. And so while you're doing this, you can look out for wildlife because you'll see many reef fish. You might see moray eels, eagle and manta rays, and bottlenose, striped, common, or spotted dolphins if you're lucky as well. Now, Mornrose Beach is the place to visit if you want that idyllic Caribbean beach day with white powder sand, beaches, and calm, clear, shallow waters.
Sounds absolutely wonderful, doesn't it? I mean, to relax in that sort of thing, you know, you really get it, and the dolphins and all that sort of thing. What's your top tip for here?
Well, John, it is a spice island, so I'd say take some spices home with you. If you're a fan of cooking or you have a loved one who is, then a perfect gift from Grenada is to bring them back a selection of local spices. They're usually sold in the half coconut shells, like we saw in the video. They're all very carefully and tightly wrapped, so they're all fine to take home in your luggage. So I would check that out. And when you're there in the markets, the people selling them can tell you what you can use them for and what kind of dishes you can make.
Give you some tips on what to cook and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Well, that sounds absolutely lovely, Karen. I do love a bit of spice. So if your cruise starts in Fort Lauderdale, Well, you're going to love it because it's known as the Venice of Florida and it has so many canals and waterways. Let's take a look at the Southern Caribbean deal now that we've got for you that goes out of Fort Lauderdale. Now this time we're going in 5-star luxury, modern luxury with Celebrity on the Celebrity Equinox. You're going to love this. Let's have a look at what you can expect from Celebrity. First of all, there's the dining experiences, which are absolutely tremendous. And with Celebrity, remember, so much is included in the price. We've got, obviously, your food in the main dining rooms. I love that, the Tower of Wine. But also, you've got your drinks package. It's included. So your drinks package, and also all your gratuities and tips are included as well, and your Wi-Fi. So it's what your wallet can take a holiday as well. When you go round, they've got so much going on these ships. It's not just all the food. I mean, the food is wonderful, and that goes without saying. It's a 5-star luxury ship, but it's all the other things like the entertainment that goes on. It's the luxury of the spas and the top decks. Oh, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It's everything. It's the relaxing lounges, and they have this wonderful coffee shop, and the coffee shop there as well has all sorts of cakes and things to eat. You're going to see, I've told you, they're absolutely lovely. So now let's find out where we're going to be going. We're going to fly you from the UK out to Miami, Florida, and then we go to Fort Lauderdale, which is where you're going to be going overnight and staying in Fort Lauderdale, which is absolutely glorious. You're going to really enjoy it. Then we're going to join the ship and we're going to cruise out. And our first port of call is Grand Cayman and Georgetown and Grand Cayman, which is, once again, I mean, this is the beaches and all these sort of places, isn't it? Then we're off to Aruba and the places here are just so gorgeous, and they're all very, very different. Williamstad in Curacao, once again, as you get off the ship, there's a marketplace just there, and then it's all the Dutch influences. Absolutely amazing. Then we're off to Bonaire, and the beaches here are wonderful as well. The people are so friendly, you're going to love it. And then it's back into Fort Lauderdale. That's where you're going to go to Miami and fly back to the UK. It's a wonderful experience. You're going to really, really love it. Let's have a look at the full details on this one, shall we? Now, as I say, this is with Celebrity, so much is included in the price of your holiday. Remember, all your tips, your classic drinks package, and your Wi-Fi included in the price. That's what makes this a really special deal. If you want it, 0808 2585 118. If you want to extend your stay in Fort Lauderdale before or afterwards as well, give us a call. We can do that. And of course, if you want full details on it, go to cruise118.com/TV, where you can actually see this program and all our other programs as well, or look at it on YouTube too, on the Cruise 118 YouTube channel. It's an amazing way to do it. Now, that is the deal. It's absolutely fantastic. So, what a great deal that was. Where are we off to now, Karen?
Now we're going to go to the former Dutch Antilles Islands, the ABC Islands of Aruba, Bonaire and Curacao. And let's start in Aruba. So Aruba's official name, its nickname is One Happy Island, and it certainly lives up to its name. It has Instagram-worthy beaches and perfect weather all year round. Your ship docks in the island's capital of Oranjestad, which is full of pretty pastel-coloured colonial Dutch buildings, as well as having great restaurants, bars and local and international shopping. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you can take an ATV or UTV tour to the north end of the island and see the beautiful limestone bridges and cliffs that have carved over the years by waves crashing against them. Another fantastic way to see the rugged cactus-filled north part of the island is on a horseback tour. And it's great to go down on the beach on the horses, and sometimes they even go in the sea, which is great. Now, water sports fans can try their hand at windsurfing or kiteboarding, or delve underneath the water to see the multitude of reef fish here. You can go snorkeling here and explore Catalina's Reef and the Antilla Shipwreck, which is considered one of the top diving spots in the world. It's a really great place to go and visit, and especially getting under the water there, it's fantastic. Now, one of my top tips for there is going to the beach. The beaches are wonderful. Eagle Beach is fantastic. There are tours that take you there, but you can also take a local taxi or even take the local bus for just a couple of dollars if you want. The bus terminal is just opposite where the cruise terminal is, and it's a beautiful white powder sand beach with some little beach huts where you can go and get your Mai Tais, your beers. There's a few restaurants dotted along if you feel peckish. And basically, the further along you go, the quieter it is. So nice and easy.
Sounds absolutely lovely. There's plenty of more places to visit in the Southern Caribbean as well. So Karen, where are we off to next?
Well, next we've done the A, let's do the B.
Ooh.
So we're going to take a look at Bonaire. So in the small island of Bonaire, your ship will dock in the island's capital of Kralendijk, which has signature pretty pastel buildings of the Dutch Antilles and a very laid-back vibe. It is a paradise for scuba divers as it has a marine park that spans the entire length of its coastline. Or if you prefer to stay dry, an eco tour on a glass-bottom boat is another wonderful way to see the pristine reefs and reef fish that live there. Now, the official bird of Bonaire is the flamingo. They live in the mangrove forests of the islands and congregate in large groups known as a flamboyance of flamingos. You can see why. And you can see them there on a tour of a protected animal sanctuary, or if you rent a car, you can drive out to the area as well. For more pink landscapes, you can visit the pink salt flats of Bonaire that power the island's thriving salt industry. And my top tip for Bonaire is if you're a fan of snorkeling or scuba diving, which I am of both, get under the water in Bonaire. It really is an underwater wonderland. There are underwater shipwrecks and so many different types of fish to see, beautiful pristine reefs with about 55 different species of coral, including diverse types of fire and brain coral, sponges and gorgonians. Now, some of the marine life to look out for includes reef fish and sea cucumbers, along with bigger marine mammals including sea turtles, eagle and manta rays, dolphins, and out in the Bisomorto, experienced divers can head out there where you sometimes even see whale sharks.
Well, sounds absolutely gorgeous. We're running out of places. Where are we off to next?
Well, we've done A, we've done B, let's do the C.
All right.
So next up, we're going to go to Curacao. In Curacao, your ship will dock in the beautiful, another pastel-coloured capital called Willemstad. Now, you wander around the centre and you can admire the beautiful architecture on the Punda waterfront. When you're there, you can walk across the famous floating Queen Emma Bridge, which opens when larger vessels come through, and enjoy views over St Anna Bay. Or you can take a trip out to the 200,000-year-old Hato Caves to see their impressive limestone formations, crystal pools and long-nosed fruit bats that live inside. And a fantastic way to cap off the day is to stop at a local distillery to sample a glass of the island's famous Blue Curacao liqueur, which is very tasty as well. So it's a great way to go out and see the island. So my top tip for Curacao is if you can, go out to the Hato Caves. They're fantastic and a terrific way to see an ancient site, learn about the history of the caves that have been used as refuges in different times in the past, and also to connect with local wildlife to see the little fruit bats, which are actually very cute.
Well, as you get off the ship, you go straight up, and on the left-hand side there, or the right-hand side rather, there's a little marketplace that sells souvenirs from Curacao, including the island's famous Blue Curacao liqueur rum. There's rum cakes and even clogs. So if you're feeling sporty, you can also hire a bike as well. They do have the electric ones as well. So, brilliant place. Should we have a look at a deal? Now, this time we're going with Virgin Cruises on their brand new ship, the Resilient Lady. Now, with Virgin Cruises, they're absolutely amazing. Let's have a look at the ship, shall we? Well, the ship itself, you know, is just amazing. But with Virgin, so much more is included. Basically, all the specialty dining's all included. So, you know, you don't have to worry about that. You can eat where and when you like. There's 20 different places to eat. They've also got lots of other things going on as well. By the way, the Wi-Fi is free as well on board. So, you know, that's just brilliant, isn't it? And it's an adult-only ship. So therefore, you know, you feel a bit more special. Do you know what I mean? And there's a great atmosphere on board. There really is. Fly from the UK to Miami, where we're going to overnight you in a 4-star hotel, take in South Beach, enjoy it all. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the next morning, you're going to be joining the Resilient Lady in Miami. We're going to cruise out then to Puerto Plata, visit the, it's called the De La Oro Chocolate Factory. It's delicious. I mean, the chocolate, yeah, I like chocolate. And then we're off to San Juan in Puerto Rico. Visit the Castillo San Felipe. It's high up and it overlooks the whole of the town. It's absolutely unbelievable. Then we're off to San Cruz. Go to the Cruisian rum distillery here. It's one of the best in the Caribbean. I like a bit of rum tasting, you know what I mean? And then finally we're into Bimini Island, which is Virgin's own private beach island with a chill out atmosphere. It's absolutely incredible. And then we're back into Miami, and that's where, unfortunately, it's home time. It's home time. So we'll fly you back to the UK. It's an amazing holiday with so much more included. All, non-alcoholic drinks and all that sort of thing, they're all included in the price as well. All your tips and gratuities, all included. Let's have a look at the full details on this one, shall we? So we can get you involved in this. So it's the brand new Virgin Resilient Lady on the 14th of January next year. It's not that far away now, is it? 8 nights going around the Eastern Caribbean. Now, the thing with this is it's adult only and so much is included in the price, including, remember, all your gratuities and tips, all the specialty dining's included, all your soft drinks are included, your Wi-Fi is included. It's an absolute brilliant deal. If you want more information, give us a call right now, 0808 2585 118, or go to cruise118.com/TV. You get the full details there. And also, you can see this programme and all our other programmes time after time after time. It couldn't be simpler. Now then, one of the things a lot of people say is, well, why should we cruise with Cruise 118? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Because there's some very, very good reasons why you should cruise 118. Cruise 118. First of all, we've got the best price guarantee. Now, full details of that are on our website, so just go and have a look on the website of that one. And remember, we're the cruise experts as well. This is all we do, cruises. Nothing else. We don't do bus tickets or holiday camps. You can book with confidence. We are APTA and ATOL bonded, so you know your money is safe. And what I would say is, go and have a look at our reviews. 4 and 5 star reviews all the way. And when you book with us, you're booking with a company that's the world's largest cruise retailer. Not the biggest travel agents in town or, the biggest cruise retailer in the world. Now that is worth thinking about, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So that's it. Now listen, Karen, thank you very much indeed for being with us again, showing us around the Caribbean. I just feel I've got to go. And if you've got to go, the numbers are on the bottom of the screen. The website's there as well. Get yourself involved, because you know what they say, it wouldn't be the same without you. From me, John Cooper, until next time, carry on cruising.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and while you're there, don't forget, next week we've got another special. Karen's going to be joining us, and we're going to Hawaii. So grab your grass skirt, you're going to need it. And don't forget as well, if you want to see any of our other destination specials, because we've been to places like Australia and Alaska, if you want to see any of them, just go right now to our YouTube site. Go to YouTube and look for Cruise 118. They're all there, and there's deals there as well. And of course, there's always the website, cruise118.com/TV. You won't find and won't miss a thing by then. And if you see anything you like, give us a call. The number's on the bottom of the screen, 0808 2585 118. And that's all you have to do. Listen, I've got to go off now, but I'll see you next week when I'll have my grass skirt on. Carol will probably have a flower in her hair, and we'll do it all again. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and all you have to do is carry on cruising.